We're going to go ahead and get started here for this wind down class tonight. So if you like, it's okay if you don't have props, but if you would like to grab a blanket for your knees and or to lay over you during Savasana, a block or some books, even just a thick book, something that you can like roll your forehead on. And if you have some kind of a ball, like a tennis ball, golf ball, lacrosse ball, trigger point type ball, to be able to like roll between your hands if you like. All of these, again, are optional. We're going to start on our backs in Savasana. Legs about as wide as the mat. Allow the back of the head to rest on the mat, maybe rolling the head back and forth. Take a moment to roll your shoulders underneath the body. And just begin to lengthen out the breath here. You can have your hands out wide, beside you, on your body, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Feel free to wiggle as much as you need to. You're just allowing yourself to arrive, remembering, knowing that you have this space for the next hour, just simply for yourself. Beginning to notice the rhythm of the breath, inviting in a natural widening of the body through every inhale, and that gentle contraction as you exhale. Belly button comes in towards the low spine, maybe even turning on the lower abdominals or pelvic floor, and softening everything through the inhales. And gently releasing through the exhale. I like to put my hands on my ribs here to just begin to feel into the rhythms of my own body. If you feel called to do this as well, feel free to join me in that. And I want to invite you to bring your awareness to your face, striving for whatever your neutral face is in this moment. Seeing if you can release any tension in the brow or forehead. Perhaps soften the eyes just a bit. Noticing how that may shift something in the cheekbones or the jaw. Just letting the jaw relax, maybe even be slightly open. Inviting that tongue to come away from the top of the mouth. And as you're breathing here, maybe assessing if this is true for you, but maybe you start to feel a relaxation through the rest of the body, allowing yourself to feel your shoulders supported by the floor or the bed, wherever you may be. Continuing to breathe here, bringing your mind's eye to the heart space. And in another breath, the mind's eye traveling down to the belly center. Just allowing yourself to feel expansive here. Maybe contemplating what that means to you for a moment. And just taking another nice deep inhale, coming right back to the breath, right back to this moment. And we'll take this moment to really notice any chatter in the mind, what the mind may be reminding us of or narrating. And I want you to remember that that is welcome. That is the mind's job. It's a protective mechanism in a way. And the goal is not to silence the mind necessarily, but to notice it. And when you do notice it, perhaps you will want to silence it, and you can thank it and just take another breath and come right back to this moment. Take just a few more rounds of breath here. Allow yourself to just feel, again, supported by the floor, supported by this room that you are in. Perhaps your eyes are closed, just taking in the surroundings. And as you're ready, possibly through an exhale, just gently starting to wiggle the toes, the feet. Maybe rolling the wrists or stretching the arms up overhead. Yawning is absolutely welcome. Allow yourself to just stretch out here a little bit. Maybe wiggling the hips a bit. And as you're ready, you can bring your knees in to the belly and just start rolling side to side. Allow your breath to be long here if possible. Still lengthening it out just as you were when you were lying still. Inviting yourself back to that neutral face. Maybe rolling the knees in a little circle. Spending just a few rounds of breath in one direction. Feeling that belly button find the low spine through every exhale. And that soft expansion through every inhale. Gently just rocking side to side for a moment. And we'll reverse. Reversing the direction that you're rocking or rolling the knees in. And feel free to do whatever feels most comfortable for your arms. I'm feeling called to put my hands on my face or to just kind of almost hold myself a little bit. Put my hands on my shoulders. But if you feel better with your arms out or your arms on your hands on your body, whatever you feel called to do. And then coming back to that side to side, if you feel called, you can wiggle the knees wide a few times. One direction and then the other. And whenever you're ready, from here we're going to go into dead bug. So just bringing the legs up towards the ceiling. Maybe wiggling the legs a little bit or shaking them out. You can shake out the arms. Maybe let out some some horse exhales with the lips. And as you feel called, you can slow down and maybe just gently rock side to side. You can And point and flex the feet. Give your hands a little massage. Coming back to that elongated breath again. If it feels better to find stillness here, feel free, and you can always bend the knees or even bring the feet to the ground and let the knees rest together. Feet can be wide. This helps support the low spine. And here our wrists are resting floating above the shoulders. The shoulders are rolled into their sockets. And we're just letting gravity take it here. Just similar to like a legs up the wall. Just feels good to release this pressure off of the arms. Just a couple more breaths here. And as you are ready, we're going to make our way up to hands and knees. So you can rock and roll up. You can roll over to one side. Whatever works best for you, and we're going to come right into the child's pose. So knees are under the hips. Shoulders are over the wrists. Imagine if somebody tried to put a cup on your back, you could balance it there, just like a tabletop. And just gently rocking side to side here. Your gaze can be down, almost creating a triangle with your hands as the base. This elongates the back of the neck, just gently pressing the crown of the head forward. Taking a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, feel free to arch the spine, drop the head. Maybe wiggle the hips a little bit. And on that inhale, you're going to drop the belly, bend into the elbows ever so slightly, lift the gaze, and just follow the inhale here. And that exhale again, gently bending the elbows, arching the spine. And feel free to just move with your own breath here for a few minutes. You can rock side to side, you can jump rope the spine, whatever you feel called to. Just being gentle with yourself, moving with your own body. Coming back to those foundations we've set with the breath, elongating the breath, and finding that neutral face. And if it is accessible to you and you'd like to pop up into a down dog, you can feel free to do that. This is about the most we'll be getting off of the mat for all of class. Taking a few nice deep breaths here. Or wherever you may be. Then we'll gently bend those knees, coming right back to that tabletop. If you'd like to give your hands a little rest, you can always come down to the forearms. We're going to step that left foot out, pressing through the ball of the foot. I'm realizing I need to take my socks off. So stepping that left foot out, pressing through the ball of the foot, leveraging off of the ball of the foot to press through the heel. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe letting the head hang heavy, but remain strong and stable through the shoulders. We'll go ahead and bring that foot or that knee back in and extend the right leg. Same thing, feel free to let the head hang heavy but remain strong in the shoulders. Don't collapse through the joint. You're pressing back through the heel, leveraging off the ball. Go ahead and bring that foot back in, maybe tapping the feet on the floor. And go ahead and sit back in a zipped up child's pose so the legs are together, if that is accessible for you. Of course, if you need to bring the legs wide or adjust however you need. And I'll invite you to bring the arms by your sides or through the legs and forehead to the ground. Allow yourself to rest here for just a moment, rocking the forehead side to side. Maybe even rocking the body side to side if that feels good. And then we'll gently come back up to the forearms and just again give those hands a little massage. Maybe rolling the wrists here. You can even give yourself a forearm massage. Just spending about 30 seconds to a minute on each side. I'll let you know when to switch. And if you need to come up off of your knees or out of this child's pose, that's totally fine. Go ahead and switch hands. And as it's accessible to you, maybe coming back towards that child's pose, I want to invite you to just hold your head in your hands. You can always do this seated as well, even lying on your back, as I had demonstrated earlier, but just holding your head in your hands. You can almost feel that the palm, the base of the palm, fits into the cheekbones quite well. And just allowing yourself to really rest here, to feel supported by your hands and taking some nice deep breaths into the back body. Continuing to breathe right here. And as you are ready, we can extend those arms out nice and long for a full child's pose. Maybe bringing the knees nice and wide, allowing the belly to rest between the thighs. 1 or 2 more breaths here. And as soon as you're ready, you can feel free to just slide forward into a face down Savasana. So bringing your hands to your side, we'll bring the right cheek to the floor first. Legs can be about as wide as the mat. Arms can be at the side. Hands can be facing up or down. And feel free to just rest here for a moment. Feel free to support yourself in any way you need to help yourself get comfortable. And when you feel ready, gently raising those feet up and window wipering them side to side, nice and slow, gentle. You can always do little circles with the feet or point and flex the feet. Coming back again and again and again to that elongated breath. Let it be an anchor for your practice. Whatever that elongation looks like for you today. The length really doesn't matter. Just whatever feels right and good for your practice tonight or today. And we'll gently let those feet float back down to the floor. And we're going to bring this left leg up beside us, like a half frog pose almost. However is most comfortable for you. And you can slide this left hand either under the hip, out to the side if you like. You can put support under this knee if you needed. Allow yourself to adjust as much as needed, again, just to be comfortable. And come back to taking those nice, deep breaths. Whatever depth you can find today in your practice. Notice if the mind has anything to say. Just taking another breath, inviting yourself right back here to this moment. And when you're ready, we will straighten that leg. And go ahead and bring your left cheek to the mat. So just flipping sides with the cheek. And we're going to bring the right leg up right next to us right away this time. Again, the arms can be out wide. They can be tucked underneath the body. And allow yourself to just come back again to the breath, resting here, feeling your body supported by the ground. I'm not sure if you can hear that in the video, but my neighbors are riding go-karts, so great practice and just staying in the present moment. And when you're ready, you can feel free to straighten out that leg and gently bend both knees. Left cheek is still on the mat, and here we'll just gently window wiper the legs again. Point and flex the feet as you feel comfortable. And when you're ready, go ahead and rest the feet down. We'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, letting the forehead come to the mat, elongating the back of the neck. Taking a nice deep breath and exhaling, hugging the elbows in towards the body, pressing the tops of the feet into the ground, and just very, very lightly lifting the heart. Taking a nice deep inhale, back down. And with your next exhale, gently coming back up. One more time, slowly lowering to the ground, taking a nice deep inhale as it is accessible for you. And exhaling, pressing the ground away. This time we will bend the knees, keep the big toes together as the knees come wide, and press yourself right on back into a child's pose. Taking a nice deep breath here. And then gently walking yourself up to a seated position. Bring the feet together for just a moment, rocking side to side, stretching out the groin here. So the bottoms of the feet can come together, but they don't need to be hugged in towards the groin real tight. So you can take them out as much as you need to feel comfortable. Your knees should relax somewhat, and you don't need to be hunched over. So allow yourself to sit up nice and tall, and it helps to be able to do that if your feet are not tucked right into the groin. Go ahead and give yourself a little foot massage if you are open to that. You can always massage your legs or your calves. Coming right back to the breath. Noticing any thoughts in the mind. And continuing right back to the breath. Let out a couple sighs if you need to, if that feels good. And we're gently going to find our way into a cross-legged position. Let's start with the right leg in front. We're going to do a little eagle arm stretch for the backs of the shoulders. So let's just start with a couple of little swings of the arm. Roll the shoulders back a couple times, make sure they're in their sockets, and then gently swinging. Keep that belly button hugging the low spine just to keep the spine safe and stable through this movement. If you feel called, you can bring your hands to your shoulders and very gently rock side to side. Helping to just wake up the spine a little bit. And slowing it down, taking a nice deep breath, inhaling up. And as we exhale, we're going to bring that right arm underneath the left so the backs of the hands meet. If you have the flexibility, maybe you can reach this right hand around to touch the front palm. Don't push it though, just if it's within your range. And then we're going to lift the elbows up right in front of the nose. The shoulders are back and down the spine. I'll sit at an angle for you. Imagine someone gently pulling on your hand, lifting. One or two more breaths here. And go ahead and release, shake it all out, roll the shoulders back a couple times. And we'll come right back after rolling the shoulders back into that gentle, safe rock here. Hands can come to the shoulders, gently rocking side to side. Finding those elongated breaths once more. The neutral face again. Being very gentle, subtle in your movements here, slowing it down. And we'll take a nice big inhale up, stretching here. Let the shoulders sink into their sockets. And with that exhale, this time the left hand comes down underneath the right arm. If you can reach around, great. Otherwise, backs of the hands together. And you're lifting those elbows up right in front of the nose, rolling the shoulders back. Belly button in towards the low spine. Breathing deeply here. If your arms are on fire, so are mine. You can drop them down if you need to. No one's forcing you to keep them up. Please listen to your body. Pressing up through the crown of the head, lengthening that back of the neck. Can you find your neutral face as you breathe here? Can you invite the tongue away from the top of the mouth? Can you relax the jaw? One more full breath. And through the exhale, go ahead and release it. Shake it out, roll the shoulders back. Whew. And I'll invite you to gently roll on down to your back again. Maybe rocking side to side. Maybe if it feels good, you can gently rock and roll on the spine for a moment. The trick to it is to make sure that you're flowing with the spine. So from up above, you're tucking the tailbone, so you're gently coming to a rounded spine here. Keep rolling it. Tuck the chin so that when you roll back, the whole spine is connected. And then at the top, I like to press my heart forward and lengthen out the spine. I exhale as I roll and inhale up top. And then gently just finding your way back down all the way. We're going to hug that right knee into the body and send that left leg long. And we're going to pull this right leg across the body into a twist. So feel free to adjust yourself however you need. I like to put my block underneath my knee here in this regard. Feel free to let this right arm come out nice and long and allow the gaze to fall down it. Roll the shoulder back and up into the socket if needed. Opposite hand can be wide or even come to rest on the ribs. Allowing yourself to come back here now. Maybe letting out a couple sighs. When you're ready, we'll gently bring that knee back to center. Adjust your hips if needed. Let's bring both feet to the floor for a moment and just very gently window wiper the legs. Then we'll pull in this left leg. Let the right leg go long. And then pulling this left leg across the body. I actually like to bring my right hip towards the center of the mat and then pull across the body. Again, you can have that block underneath the knee. You can have the arm nice and wide. Or you can bring it to your ribs. Allow your gaze to fall down this left arm. Inviting the jaw to separate slightly again. Invitation for the tongue to rest on the bottom of the mouth. One more final nice deep inhale. And a full complete exhale. Allowing the hips to come back to center, maybe rocking side to side with the knees for a moment. Feel free to take a minute or two for any last minute movements that we didn't get to, that you're craving. Maybe that's a bridge or happy baby or anything really. If you love going upside down, no matter your practice, take a moment for that. And as you're ready, allow yourself to settle into your final Savasana pose, allowing the legs to come nice and long. The hands, again, can be out at your side. They can be resting on the body. Allow the shoulders to come back into their sockets and find their shelves beneath the heart space. Go ahead and give your hips a little wiggle. Feel this gentle ricochet throughout your body so that you know that your body is completely relaxed, or at least you can feel into what your neutral space is in this moment. Coming back to those full inhales that expand the body, and the soft exhales. Maybe feeling again the muscles of the pelvic floor. Allow yourself to just be here for a couple moments. I promise I'll bring you back. Go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. And a complete full exhale. And then allow your breathing to come back to its normal pace, whatever that feels like for you right now. And you can start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Maybe hug those knees in towards the chest. And as you're ready, you can bring yourself up to a seat. Maybe you roll over first, however you want to get there. Allow yourself to arrive here for a moment, just taking a breath. And then we will close out our practice together tonight, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhaling down to third eye center, pausing here for a moment to honor our deeper knowing, the knowing beyond our logical brains. Bringing the hands to the chin, allowing the fingers to bloom open, creating a space between the palms. This is a symbol for love and light. May we honor our shadows and our salt. May we know that in this practice, in this atmosphere we've created together tonight, you are never alone. You are never, ever alone on your journey. Gently bringing your hands over your own heart, bowing this left temple towards the heart, just giving yourself a little squeeze, invitation to just sincerely thank yourself for showing up today, for carving out this time for yourself. No matter how much of a practice it may or may not be for you in your life at this time, this is significant. We do not live in a world that encourages you to spend time alone, for yourself, by yourself. Take a nice deep inhale, bringing the hands back to the knees. One or two more breaths here, just feeling into that parasympathetic state. Remember, when you make the time to be with yourself and I make the time to be with myself, that is where we find our calm, sacred centers. That is where we find our strength and our oneness, our unity. I honor that space within you, also known as Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to drink water. Take care of yourself. See you soon.